Welcome back to another episode with the GR Corolla. This time we are at a little different place. We are at Boosted Creations in Palmyra, New York. Our buddies here are letting us use the lift to put our MBRP exhaust in. So let's see what we got in the box, what we got on the car, and put them both together. All right, so looking at the downpipe, this part we are not gonna replace. So we're gonna be replacing the cap back. So pretty much this flange all the way back to the end of the car. But this part is good to look at just because this will unlock a lot more power, boost, all that stuff in the future. So you can see the O2 sensor for this is actually pre-secondary cat. So what that means is this catalytic converter here really doesn't make a huge difference. It's not gonna throw a code especially. So this is one that will be removable, or companies that make downpipes for this. I know Miltech has one so far, won't need to put this cat there. The main cat is right up here, and it's actually a separate piece from the pipe itself. So it looks like it goes manifold, cat, and then that flange there. So that's cool to know that if we wanted to delete the second cat, it's not gonna throw any codes for that. As we move on, we have dual hangers across this trans tunnel here, and then we go to the single. I was gonna try to see if we could do like some upgraded hangers, just because sometimes if you have the factory hangers, they're a little bit soft, like the density of the rubber, so that can lead to like droning in the cabin or like a louder tone in the cabin rattling. So that might be something that I look into and see if anyone's made these, because the one further back here is a little different. This one actually has two exhaust hangers and then the single hanger that goes to the chassis mount. We also have this part, which is the valved section. So the center is valved, and it looks like they put a bung on here. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's actually for the valve center pin to go through. But yeah, this system is gonna come out and we'll put that new one in. So that's what we're looking at. This is all one piece, this all the way up to that mid pipe center section. So that'll be fun to fit back in the car when we're done. I did see up here, it looks like there's a donut gasket. So I'm hoping that the MBRP exhaust already has that. I know sometimes you need like a donut gasket adapter for this. So I haven't looked at that one yet. Probably take a peek now before we get in trouble. See if that's something we need to look at. We're looking for a donut, so let's see what we got. Big clamp, big exhaust. I'll leave that in the box for now. All right, so we found what we were hoping to find, which is the same flange as the factory exhaust. So the donut gasket that came from the factory is gonna fit in here perfectly. No exhaust leaks to worry about. The part that joins this to the muffler section is a slip joint, so we'll put that on and then clamp it down with that gigantic clamp. Finally, it looks like we have some tips that will go on. This is a really popular option for a lot of exhaust manufacturers right now, these modular exhausts. So what that means is there's separate pieces for each section, and that way they can reduce the amount of parts that they have on the shelf. So that these tips are probably the same tips for any exhaust of the same diameter. They just kind of spread them across the exhaust line. And there's probably some, this is definitely more of a Toyota GR Corolla thing, but there are probably a lot of other exhaust parts that they could share. What that helps them do is lower costs and have more stuff available to buy. So we do have another one of these on our site, grcorollaparts.com, if you want one. Check it out. All right, and these are the delete panels. They're gonna go on either side. These are actually made out of metal and they're powder coated, so that's cool. I thought they were plastic, but that's what's up. So next up, we're gonna take this bad boy off. It looks like it should just be the two flange bolts. We have to worry about the valve here, which it looks like is gonna mount to the top of this. This new exhaust is not valved, but it does have a spot for the valve to be attached, the valve motor, so it's not gonna throw any codes or do any weird stuff. And then from there, it's just hangers. So hangers, we're just gonna have to kind of pry off, but let's go. That right in the hole. Whoa. So we have our two 14 mil bolts here. I'm gonna try not to use PB Blaster because it's a little stinky and I don't want it to drip on me. But hopefully this car's new enough where we don't have to.
There you go.
Which is true.
Oh, you're pretty good with that wrist. The wrist action.
All right, that's gonna pull right off. Next is gonna be these hangers, but the good homies here hooked us up with one of these guys. So we should just be able to push this through. Oh my goodness. Is this a thing? Should I have? We almost bumped your head.
You've never used one of those?
No, dude.
Come on, bro.
I used to just, in my apartment complex, I'd go to the very bottom floor in the parking lot so no one would tell on me. And I would just punish myself. This is great. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is just get the valve actuator here off. Looks like it's just a single plug, but then the wire is held on to this somehow. Oh, I see. Okay.
It's right here. You can see it. It's like right here.
You're right here.
It's right here. If you just open your eyes, you could like see it.
All right, we got the plug and the what? Oh my goodness. All right, so we got the connector and retainer off the factory exhaust valve. And then I did go ahead and loosen the exhaust hangers on the driver and passenger side. The only ones left are gonna be the center one and then the one up there. So I'm gonna try to do it myself, but I might need the guy holding the camera. So you'll either see us do it and take it off or you won't.
Man, look at that thing.
Darn.
Looking gross.
That's a big one. So the next thing we're gonna do is transfer this assembly onto the new one. Like I said, there is no active valve on the exhaust, but we wanna keep that so the car's happy.
Otherwise, it'll be sad.
Making sure that if I take this off, it's not gonna like release something in the valve. It's gonna like fall in or something like that. I wouldn't think so, but always good to ponder. All right, so we're gonna take the larger 12 mil bolts off, 1, 2, 3, and then the smaller 10 mil that hold the actual actuator on. So this piece is gonna come off. This one, I'm assuming we're also gonna carry over just because there is the bolt pattern of these larger 12 mil bolts. And then this guy's gonna stay in there. That's our factory valvey boy. Yep, so those are gonna line up right there. This is gonna sit right here. Keep the car happy.
There you go, bud.
Yeah. All right, so we are unboxing our tips. So these are the carbon fiber tip option we got. Cleaning tips. So it gives you a little guide on how to make sure you don't F these up. But yeah, this is gonna sit on the end of the two tips. These are also slip joint, so we will put them on, align them correctly so this is straight up, and then tighten them down. Straight up. We are just going to get this additional nut, screw down these 3. Now these 10 mil ones that hold the actual, these are threaded on this bracket, which is why we transferred this over. I'm slowly realizing. So those will go right back in. So I'll probably do that first.
Requesting to come aboard, Captain.
What's that from again?
Captain Crunch, maybe?
Could be.
This is all I'm good for, guys. This is all I'm good
Always
for.
good for us. Cool.
Yo, you ever gonna get out of that box? What are you doing?
I'm just reading the instructions, dude. They gave these great step-by-step guides of exactly what to do. I kind of had a fair idea. Put the pipes on, really. According to them, now that we got this installed, we can go ahead and put the front pipe in the car. So I just got the hanger up there first.
I'm sorry, I can't help you. You should have been born taller.
So we got the hanger put in. I'm just gonna do one of these spring tensioned screws there. Now what I'm gonna do is tension these down all the way. The reason we wanna do that is we wanna make sure that before we put the slip joint on the back and then rotate that and clamp that down or whatever, that these are exactly how they're gonna be and fully tightened down. My favorite noise.
Hey, where'd you get that shirt?
Oh, funny you asked. Circuiteman.com. We got new shirts and more shirts to come, and hats and sweatshirts. Shoes. Cool.
It looks like they made this exhaust for a cab. It's made for a cab, actually.
All right, now just because we have the muffler off, and you know, I think we just kind of have to. Well, hopefully it sounds better than that.
Expecting some pops on the way down, but no.
Yeah. So the next thing it's gonna have us do is put the exhaust hanger, the additional one. So there's obviously one right here. And then we have this one that goes into the passenger side for us American folks. So we're gonna put this on very loosely, and that way if we have to make any adjustments, make sure it's centered, whatever. There is a little bit of slotting done to both this bracket piece and the muffler side. So I think they kind of just count on you know, aligning it once it's in the car.
Cool looking hanger.
Yeah. A little laser logo there. All right, next up, the fun part, throwing this in there. So we went ahead and tightened up the slip joint on the mid pipe to axle back. I believe successfully calibrated the fitment here. So as far as like rotationally and left to right, it looks pretty good. It's a little tight on the right side, but I don't really see how I can move it over any further. So yeah, at this point we're just getting the tips. These, you could slide these forward or backward. I'm gonna have them a little further out just to reduce some of the droning in the cabin. It'll help with that as well as look cooler. You get a ruler once we get the car down and just take a peek and see how far out from the bumper they sit. But yeah, I'm just gonna do my best with what I got. All right, we got the car back on the ground. Before we take it off the lift though, we're just gonna make sure that there's no exhaust leaks. So we're gonna start it up, listen for any, and really just hear how this beautiful MBRP exhaust sounds. So that was the install of the new MBRP dual center exit exhaust with carbon fiber tips for your 2023 and up GR Corolla. We're gonna go for a ride right now, so you guys will be a part of that video as well. And in future videos, I'll probably give my feedback about how I like this compared to the stock and other exhausts I've had in the past. Thanks so much for checking it out. Please check out the links in the description to check out all the MBRP exhausts that we offer and other parts for your GR Corolla. Till then, we'll see you on the streets.
Well, he's left me on the side of the road. It sounds pretty good. There's a second time today he's had to leave me on the side of the road. Oh, I could smell you.
Windows are up now. Very controllable. Like the tone of the exhaust is very like, you can manipulate it quite easily. Like right now it's like I'm cruising 50 miles an hour, fourth gear, like giving throttle, and it's really easy. But if I want to, you know, obviously get on it, you can modulate the tone pretty easily. I know like in the past, like coming from Subarus, when you were lower in RPMs, you get like a lot of like bass, like low end noise. I had straight pipe, I've had like N1 style, I've had like muffler style, and always you'd get like a lot of like, if you just try to like feather it, you get like a lot of low down, like heavy kind of bass exhaust noise. Higher up you would just immediately get into like the roar. This doesn't have that issue. I'm assuming it's because it's a 3-cylinder. You don't really get like that low end like loud big noise. This is a daily driver. I don't want like a super loud exhaust, so this seems like a really great option for me personally. But there are other options out there that we have available that have like a active valve system, obviously a higher price point. I think for me, like I really wanted the dual single exit like the most of all, and the other options that are out there, it's like all four. It really, yeah, I think this is a good option for me. It's not super loud, like a very slight drone when you're just cruising with light throttle, like going uphill or just like adding some gas to the speed you're cruising at. But once again, I think if we were to have some like polyurethane bushings for the exhaust hangers, it'd be a lot better, polyurethane exhaust hangers. But yeah, I like it so far. Like, sounds great. When you get on the gas, it definitely has like a really good sound, a good exhaust note to it. Yeah, we're gonna go to the track once again, Watkins Glen, in about 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks to get the coils on, get the alignment all dialed in, oil change, and the car in front of us just went off the road, but they're back on, so that's cool. And yeah, I'm super excited to hear what this sounds like roaring down the back straight out there. Stick with us. Here's the outro.
Track days.